place and we back up.
All right, Coach, they've got right around 100,000 packed in here like sardines at AT&T Stadium. And with the roof closed and the bottled waters flowing, figures to be a loud and raucous atmosphere in Arlington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Eagles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Right back to Sanders on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
6 guys. Lefty. 46 down, man, 5-4. 56.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, they Aimed at 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
First down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
54. There we go. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. 2-jet. This 5-7. 5. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. 54. 2-jet. Check. Watch 54.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down.
Here we go, G, get off the field. Mike, 55. Red 5-2, out here. Check back. Shorty. Hey, echo.
Now Wentz. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52, come on. We own them.
Winston now. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection.
Check 99. Tight dog. Shoot.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Don't be scared of it. Flip it. 52's the mark, boy. 52. Hey, here we go. Check 52's the mark. Check 52's the mark. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
From the gun, Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yarder to end the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Here's Sanders. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
Mike 54. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz out of the backfield. This is Aaron Jones. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Better bring it. You better even. I'm letting you know right now.
On first down. It's Elliott, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Keep playing hard,
at the 42-yard line.
Woo! Let's get it. Ready? Black 22. 52's the mic. White. One. 52's the mic. Easy. 52's the mic. Tackles. 52's the mic.
On second and 11 now. Winston. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. They find some open field here. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Now Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
No. Watch the safety creep. Check. Come on. Sunday.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Sanders, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, They do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Delano Hill. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Now Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
57's the mic. Touchdown, defense. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Easy.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston. It's caught. Cooper. He's got the first down inside the 10. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
He's down right here. Down on the right. 4 down. Check. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
To throw, Winston. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then they'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. It's a second down run with Sanders. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check, check. Lock green, triple team.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Complete to his tight end, Zach DeValve. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Winston. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To the air again with Winston. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
Check the backer, check the backer. Wait. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Easy.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Jameis now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go, even.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Fights through him. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
1st down and 10.
Watch 25. 52's the mic. Here we go. Watch that. No. Off. Flip it. Let's go.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Now Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Maher is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Switch up, switch up.
Wentz now to throw. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 50-yard line.
Here we go. Waiting.
Again, it's Jones. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Check it out, Reed. Back.
Here's Wentz to throw. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Dylan Cole. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Bust through the tackle. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Ready? Flag. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing, Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Get wide. 5 on the 50.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
82.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that.
There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Another run with Sanders, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
You ain't going nowhere.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Caught by Jones. It's a gain of 5. And it'll be fourth down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they